Hello, hello, hello. My name's Troy Hill, and this is Troy Hill Talks, and I'm back with another review. This time is for Kings of Queens, the Run-D.M.C. story. A new documentary is on Peacock, and it tells the story of hip-hop's original rock stars who grew up as some kids from Queens who believed in their talents. They were officially the baddest of the bad and the coolest of the cool, Run-D.M.C. Before I start the review, I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. If you have not subscribed yet to this channel, please click that subscribe button and please share with some friends. I'd really appreciate it. This documentary is really cool because it gives us a kind of like a behind the scenes look at one of the pioneers of hip hop. It tells the story of Run, who was big into basketball growing up as a kid, and it also talks about the story of DMC, who was big into comic books, was very relatable to me growing up as a kid. And it's just very interesting how these kids ended up growing up and turning into these hip hop icons. One of the things I didn't know in this documentary, how Run was actually a DJ for Curtis Blow, which I thought was pretty damn cool. And I never knew about DMC being bullied growing up as a kid. Another interesting aspect of this documentary was all the other hip-hop acts they had that they asked questions about throughout the docuseries. I thought it was kind of crazy that the original DJ for Run-D.M.C., he actually had to leave the group because he got a job working for the post office, and they were all excited and happy for him. You know, he kind of made his way out of the ghetto by getting a job at the post office. One of the real cool things about this docuseries is just all behind the scenes footage, all the different videos from different concerts, all the promo ads of a Run-D.M.C. They're just really cool to look at, and it really did bring back a lot of memories growing up as a kid, because back then Run-D.M.C. was one of my favorite hip hop groups. I remember listening to Tougher Than Leather. That was like my favorite Run-D.M.C. tape. I listened to that tape over and over again on one of our trips to Florida when I was growing up as a kid. And actually, Raising Hell was one of the first hip-hop albums my mom ever bought growing up as a kid. So that was like a big deal. Another fun fact in this docuseries was that Slow and Low by the Beastie Boys was actually originally done by Run-D.M.C. as a demo. I also thought was interesting in this docuseries when they were mentioning about the creation of Walk This Way, which obviously was a very popular song. Again, my mom bought the album because of that song. To me, I thought it was just amazing how the group itself didn't realize how big of a song this was gonna be. And even how Russell Simmons thought that this was the downfall of Run-D.M.C. with this song. I thought it was interesting how they kind of talked about how Run-D.M.C. was sort of phasing out with the insurgence of gangster rap when they had their concert in Los Angeles and NWA opened up for them. I thought that was really interesting in the documentary. And one of the highlights for this documentary for me was DMC just sharing the struggles he went through during his life with depression and being bullied. You know, some of those things are kind of relatable for me. Growing up as a kid, you know, being a little bit different or being like into arts and things like that. People think it's kind of not very cool, which is all right, but still kind of having like this alias that you can do like way more than what people would even understand or give you credit for even be able to do. I was actually really shocked at one point. He was pondering doing himself in, you know, and some, you know, like a little voice inside prevented him from doing that. So I'm thankful for that little voice, because during this documentary, I always thought I knew DMC, one of my favorite MCs, especially from that time period. And then after watching this documentary, I feel like I got a chance to actually meet Darryl, the man behind DMC, and I'm thankful for that. And I just wonder if other people feel that way. Still tragic about the story of Jam Master Jay. I'm still surprised that they have not put anybody behind bars for this. This has been something that's happened over 20 years ago. So it was really cool just seeing people paying him his respects, talking about how nice of a guy he was. That was really cool. To me, it's just fun just seeing these docuseries, especially about hip hop, because back in the day, I mean, I'm a kid, you know, a little kid, and you couldn't even buy hip hop records and stuff. You couldn't even go to Musicland where I grew up and buy like a hip hop record at that time. You had to go to the next city over. I lived in a small town called Southfield, Illinois. If I wanted to get a hip hop album outside of like a LL Cool J or a Run-D.M.C., I had to go to this record store in Rockford called Ubiquity Records to pick it up. I believe it was called Ubiquity. But anyways, it was a record shop in Rockford that I had to travel to get a lot of this stuff. It was just a different time back then. And I don't think people realize that this is like only like 30, 40 years ago when all this stuff was going on. You can buy hip hop any damn where now if you want to, but back then it wasn't that easy. So, you know, seeing like this behind the scenes footage of Run-D.M.C. and then seeing for the Fresh Fest and stuff and the concerts. I remember hearing those ads growing up on the radio about the Fresh Fest coming to the Rockford Metro Center growing up as a kid. Of course, I was excited. I wanted to go. My mom wouldn't let me go. That's another story. Overall, I really enjoyed this documentary. The one thing that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way about this documentary, and maybe it's just me, but it seemed like Run, he said like me like a lot. He said like mine a lot, and me and him. That kind of like bothered me a little bit. Another thing I thought that was odd in this documentary was that they never showed DMC and Run together throughout the whole damn thing. They kind of just showed Run on his way driving, and they showed DMC someplace else. But as far as just them being together, you did not see them until their final performance at the Yankee Stadium. So I thought that was kind of weird also. If you've watched this documentary, tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your comments below. And what other hip-hop acts would you like this type of format in a docuseries for? I would love to see something like this for LL Cool J, EPMD, groups like that. Even I wouldn't mind seeing something like this for like 2 Live Crew too. I think it would be pretty cool just to get a behind-the-scenes look at some of these hip-hop groups that we've loved over the years. What's your favorite Run-D.M.C. song? Mine is Beats to the Rhyme. I would love to see your thoughts and comments below. Well, that's it for me this evening. Have you seen this docuseries? Do you want to see this docuseries? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. If you go see it, please come back here and comment, because I would love to have a conversation with you about this particular docuseries. Again, my name is Troy Hill. This is Troy Hill Talks, and I'll see you next time. Take care.